March 1970, CS gas, riots and bombs. In March 1970, Ringo Starr released his first solo album, Sentimental Journey. This was quite fitting as we continue to write and meander through the history of the Troubles. For a lot of listeners, this is very much a sentimental journey too. Having grown up in the Troubles and lived through so much chaos and madness that undoubtedly has left a lasting impression on the minds of so many. On the 1st of March, the IRA bombed and wrecked a statue of a prominent 19th-century Presbyterian preacher and political orator named Roaring Hugh Hanna in Carlisle Circus, Belfast at around 3:50 a.m. Due to the damage caused by the bomb, it was subsequently placed in storage by Belfast City Council. However, following protests from unionist politicians at the usurping of Hanna's statue, Belfast City Council agreed to its restoration and future re-erection. Some Presbyterian elders and nationalist councillors feared that the return of Reverend Hanna may worsen sectarian tension in the area. Given the increasing regularity of their activity over the previous months, the UVF was blamed for an explosion at St. Thomas Aquinas Hall, the Catholic students' hostel at Queen's University Belfast, on the 7th of March. This was only a few days before members of the Stormont Parliament were given police protection due to the rising tensions in Northern Ireland. The 26th of March brought a significant new act into effect, whilst also seeing the continued targeting of Dublin by the UVF. The Police Northern Ireland Act became law. The Act provided for the disarmament of the RUC and the establishment of an RUC reserve force. The Act established the Police Authority of Northern Ireland, which was meant to contain representatives from across the community. However, none of the main nationalist parties have ever taken part in it. A bomb explosion damaged an electricity substation at Greenhills Road, Talla, Dublin, at approximately 5:30 a.m. An anonymous typewritten statement, believed to be from the UVF, claimed responsibility for the bomb. The UVF also claimed responsibility for exploding a bomb at the home of Nationalist Party MP Austin Currie in March. On the 29th of March, Easter Sunday, further disturbances came to the surface in Derry following a march to commemorate the Easter Rising. The British Army later established a cordon around parts of the Bogside to contain the trouble. Eamon Gallagher, official at the Irish Department of External Affairs, was present in Derry at the time of the parade and reported on what he had witnessed. It was quite interesting that in his initial findings he mentioned a call from head of Sinn Féin Thomas Magola for Catholic and Protestant workers to unite in the north against the land gentry and industrial leaders and turn their guns on them instead of on each other. I was in Derry for the Republican parade and ensuing events on Easter Sunday. The Guildhall Square was blocked off from the old city by soldiers, and the only policemen in sight were directing traffic diverted through the quays. In due time, a colour party arrived from the direction of Strand Road, headed by a number of youngsters, boys and girls, in Fina uniform and carrying the tricolour, the plough and stars, and a flag showing the rising sun. They were followed by not more than 300 or 400 people. Several speeches were made, the most important speaker being Mr. Thomas Magola, head of Sinn Féin. He attacked the Taoiseach and the government in round terms, and also had a go at the British Army. His main theme was that no person and no government had the right to rule out the use of force to achieve reunification. A subsidiary theme was that Catholic and Protestant workers should unite in the north against the land gentry and industrial leaders and turn their guns on them instead of on each other. During the speech-making, the Fianna youngsters were escorted to Shipquay Gate, opposite the Guildhall steps, and were allowed to pass through the city walls with a number of stewards. This was a symbolic breach of Derry walls, and I should think it was arranged in advance with the British Army authorities. Just 2 days later, there were riots in the Springfield Road area of Belfast following an Orange parade. The British Army used snatch squads to make arrests of Catholic youths. The confrontations were intense with 38 soldiers injured, together with an unknown number of civilians. The army used CS gas for the first time in large quantities. The violence lasted for 3 days. Thanks for listening to this episode of Tales of the Troubles. To ensure you never miss an episode, please click the follow button and enable notifications. If you have family or friends who would also like this podcast, please share. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we take a closer look at April 1970.